Hey guys, it's Friday, so do you know what that means? It's another edition of the Retro Buzz, and today is a very special edition. And it's not because Glen's here and it's Valentine's Day, although Glen would probably like it.
All. I love you all.
It's special for us.
It's special. We've got Mr. Cool Toy there. Well, you're not looking like Jericho today, so
no,
I don't know.
Back to my usual costume.
And we also have the voice from beyond. We have Jonathan and Kass from Chizcomm.
Hey.
I don't know if I should wear my hat forward or backwards. I'm really torn here.
Well, it's really whatever you want to do. I mean,
if you want to go old school, you have to go with me. If you want to go the cool hip guy, you got to go Mr. Cool Toys way. You know, that's how it is.
Or you just turn.
Well, it's got the Legends Ultimate branding, so I feel like that's better.
There you go. Yeah, you could show that. So, for those that don't know, today is the National Owners Day for AtGames, and you guys have been blowing up the internet today, releasing a whole mess of new firmware. You put out a bunch of giveaways. I think you released a new product or something. No?
I think 5 p.m. Eastern something came online. I don't know much about it though, so I don't know if we're going to talk about that tonight.
Well, I don't know, Glen. Do you know anything about it? I mean,
well, I saw a little hint of it somewhere a few minutes ago. Well, almost actually an hour ago now, and it was just a teaser. It was only like 5-second teaser, so very little information so far. But maybe we could find out more tonight. We get these two cornered.
I don't know. They don't look like they really want to share anything. They're barely sharing the table.
We have lots to share.
So let's kind of get into this. Give us a history. Why did you guys call this National Owners Day? Let's start there, because I think that's
so. I mean, you guys know PK, and PK loves the community more than anything, and all the support you guys give us. So we were brainstorming at CES, and we wanted to figure out a way to give back to the community. And we figured, what better than to show our love for all you guys do and all the community does, but celebrate on Valentine's Day for the first National Owners Day, and just give back to you with prizes, announcements, sneak peeks, and just really make it a fun day all about you guys and all about the community.
Yeah, this started, no joke, over a cup of coffee at breakfast at CES. We got the opportunity to meet with so many of you guys, so many fans, so many owners, and hearing the positive feedback and how many people were supporting us, we really got the wheels turning and thought, what could we do to show our appreciation and make it an annual event? And National Owners Day 2020 was born.
Yeah.
Nice.
Or NOD 2020.
So
nice. and so this is kind of something that, besides that, you decided to also bring out a new product that Glen alluded to just a little bit ago.
Yeah, so for those who haven't seen, we launched the Legends Gamer today. There it is up on the screen, and you can see it has all the same great features as the Legends Ultimate, but you'll notice those two handy buttons on the side, plus 8 arcade buttons versus the 6. Same connectivity, it's wireless towards your TV or your monitor, and it's just another evolution in our product line.
What do you guys think? What do you guys think?
I'm pretty excited about it.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, the only other thing out there like this is, it's kind of like the Pandora box shell things we see. And as far as their capabilities, they are a little bit limited. And with this having the similar capabilities as the Legends Ultimate Arcade itself, and being the price point that we're seeing at $199, I think this is a heck of a deal. I mean, I'm very impressed with this. And this is something, even as a Legends Ultimate owner, I'm still interested in picking up secondary as something for my downstairs TV that I can enjoy without having to lug my Legends Ultimate around the house.
Mm-hmm. And that's something PK and the whole AtGames team have really listened to the community and thought of ways, whether it's a different price point or more nimble or more agile, so you can have multiple in your home, what would make for the best gaming experience. And you'll see that today and in the future, that we're constantly trying to come out with things to innovate and keep our fans happy.
I think, like Cool Toy said, I think it's pretty neat if you could have smaller versions of the Legends Ultimate, the same type of feature set, same upgradability on there. I do have a question for them, though. When you look at the control panel, obviously we have the 8 buttons versus the 6. We don't have the spinners. We don't have a trackball. Are there going to be other versions of this with those features built in, or just going for a slightly different game set? Because it looks like it's really set up now more towards, fighting games, which is great for head-to-head. But there are still people out there who like the spinners and the trackball style games. Is this just an early prototype right now? Is this going to change, or is this a final product right now?
Well, so there's always changes as we get closer to release date, but for the most part, this is the Legends Gamer. And in terms of future updates with trackball or spinners, that's something that's behind closed doors at the moment. This is the first iteration of the Gamer, and time will tell what other versions you see.
So what Jonathan really means is you'll have to have us back on many more times, and we'll keep giving you little snippets of information.
So what I think is cool, because we all have seen it in the community. You alluded to the buttons on the side. Here, I'll go back to this so everybody can see. You alluded to the buttons on the side, and we did see a mod that somebody actually did that for pinball, because just to make it, more ergonomic. We also saw somebody, and correct me if I'm wrong, but when they skinned it, they also put the 4 buttons on it in a mod, kind of like the way you guys did it there. I really like that, because that, I know we can attest to this, playing Killer Instinct over Steam as well as Mortal Kombat. You need those extra buttons for certain features, right? I mean, Doug, you brought that out in the video.
Yeah, I mean, you can get by with 6 buttons, but if you want that arcade experience the way it's meant to be played, you want the 8 buttons. So to see the 8-button layout is ideal for those newer, advanced arcade fighting style games in particular.
So what we need you guys to do that are watching this, that are making these graphics, start making graphics that people can buy with the 4th button, so we can start drilling the holes to put, to put them in there. Because this is ideal for that type of gameplay. So what's the distance on this? I mean, how far away from the TV can you go with this?
I mean, I don't have exact footage, but it definitely has a very good range. Similar to a Bluetooth speaker that you can be, quite a few feet away and still be able to get really good responsive time with little latency, versus having to, be within 6 feet of your TV to make it work.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. So this is almost like the Blast, where the HDMI is wireless. So that's kind of cool, because I think the Blast worked fairly well. Is that what you're talking about? That the HDMI signal itself is wireless, or is it just the? Is that what you're talking about? The Bluetooth going to an HDMI to the TV or something along those lines?
So the control panel is very similar to, like you're talking about, a Blast dongle, where that is actually just the controls. All the brains live in the HDMI sort of receiver, the HD setup that you plug into your TV or your monitor.
Very cool.
Yeah, so then you have that. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, because that's a big problem. I think a lot of people would say that, and with the latency, because of pressing the buttons. I mean, you've seen it with, and I'm just gonna go there. You've seen it with people with Toy Shock. I mean, that's like a few frames. Like if you show it at 60 frames, people could see it. Some of the guys that are really into pinball, they noticed it when they get into some of these games. If the latency's high, being wireless like that, and I know with video, latency can be high on wireless. That's why we were asking that.
No, and I completely get that, and obviously that's something very important. And as we've been sort of celebrating Pinball Month on the fan pages, and then releasing this product, that was a big focus of ours, because we didn't want it to have any of those issues that we've seen in previous products and amongst other brands. So it was something that the whole dev team really focused on when building this product.
Guys, I really think we got rickrolled for the last couple weeks, and I was half expecting to come on here and them start playing that song, because everybody assumed we were getting a pinball announcement today. Everybody. I mean, you
kind of are.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like, everybody like half expected. I mean, that was good marketing. I gotta give it to you. I mean, that was like, you kept everybody engaged because you guys came out and said that you were working on it, and then you kept dropping hints, and then all of a sudden it was just kind of like the bottom fell out, and this was born, which totally threw everybody for a loop.
Well, we don't want to give everything away all at once. That's not a lot of fun.
It doesn't mean it won't happen.
No, but it was pretty good. Like, everybody was like, "Oh, what's gonna come? What's gonna come?" So we have a question though. We have a question in the chat room. Is there going to be the possibility of doing direct connection without using Bluetooth? And that was from Matt Scott.
I will have to confirm. And shout out to Matt in Germany. I know he's staying up late right now getting on the show. But that's something we'll have to look at after the fact. But the whole idea behind the Legends Gamer is that it is wireless.
Okay, Glenn, can you read that other? The computer's a bit far here from me. Can you read the question on YouTube from PR87 Reviews? Yeah, can you do that?
Yeah. Okay. When looking at the website for the new product, there is a disc-looking device with a RJ45 on it. What is that?
That's the receiver.
So that would be the receiver that connects with the control panel, and you plug into your TV or your monitor.
So you'll have your HDMI connection to the receiver, and then that HDMI connection goes to the TV, and then you'll also have the power to the receiver, and then that's going to communicate to the control deck itself.
Exactly. And the nice thing about the control deck is it does have a long-lasting rechargeable battery, so you're not worried about it dropping out all of a sudden when you're in the middle of a big game.
Let's also talk about the fact that
that's kind of cool.
You guys also opened it up, just like the Legends, to add Bluetooth controllers to it as well. So if you want to play 4 players, right?
Yeah. And I mean, we always believe the more the merrier, right? with some of the being the connected arcade, we take that literally to mean connected in the same space or connected across the world, whatever it may be. So that we want everyone to be able to play.
On that, we just said right there, being able to play people from around the world with it. Will you also be able to connect with people who have a Legends Ultimate with that device? Can it go interoperable between the two different systems?
I believe so. The reason being is if it's connecting via
it's doing it through ArcadeNet, it should do it. Yeah.
That makes sense.
So here's what I'm seeing, guys. I was looking at the press release when it was sent over, and I sat there and go, how long do you think it's going to take before guys that have a Toy Shock buy this, take the guts out, absolutely take the guts out of it and put it in a Toy Shock and mod it and make it the Legends Ultimate Pinball Machine? That was immediately what I thought of when I saw this device for $200. They're laughing because I mean, seriously, I thought, how many of you guys in the chat room thought that?
Idea. I've seen those virtual pinball cabinets that have arcade joysticks at the end that also have flippers and have the virtual pinball in. And I immediately thought, I'm like, wow, $200 for this control unit. Modding community, somebody out there is going to connect this to a virtual pinball machine and then have both arcade gaming, virtual pinball gaming, all of it, at their fingertips, which is an amazing opportunity for those people.
Well, we made the announcement about an hour and a half ago, so I'm surprised someone hasn't posted it in the fan club already.
Well, we don't have the product yet, so we can't do it yet.
I'm sure it gives us a weekend, and I'm sure we'll see it eventually. But no, we love hearing stuff like that, and we love seeing the creative mods that people do and just what people come up with. It's fascinating to us. And because we do have so much technology behind it, and we have an amazing dev team over at AtGames, I know with all the upgrades we've been putting out too, even for the Legends Ultimate, when there has been an issue, we've been able to tackle it. So we can continue to put out more product and fix it and innovate it at the exact same time. And that's what the model we're trying to take with everything here too. So continue to chat us, continue to answer our surveys, continue to give us the feedback on any new product we put out, because we truly take it to heart.
Now, does anybody have any of the dimensions? Nick Chrisman is asking in the chat room, Bill, I don't know. I know you're watching, or PK, if you guys are watching. Can somebody post the dimensions in the chat room, or if you happen to know Jonathan, is that something that you have? Because it looks rather big compared to the other ones, and I think everybody was kind of like, "Wow, that's really cool."
I don't have the confirmed dimensions, but imagine very similar in size to the ALU board.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's why, like 32 inches. Go ahead, Glenn.
I said another question in the forums, actually from P-Dub. Basically, people put a pre-order in now. When is it expected to be delivered? When is the product expected to actually launch?
We're hoping end of Q2, early Q3.
Wow.
Obviously, there's some global events going on that have delayed certain things, but that's our ambitious timeline.
A certain virus.
Yeah.
I don't have my mask.
To get it.
Well, I gotta say that my house is probably a spot for it at this point. I got so many packages from China. I am sure this house is going to be quarantined very soon.
So Matt Scott in the chat room, he also wants to know and I'm going to paraphrase this, Matt, because it's so far away. He basically stated about a game list. We saw that you guys announced that there's going to be 150 games. Are they going to be the same, or some of those 150 that we have on the Legends Ultimate, or are these going to be a whole mess of new titles that are officially licensed between console and arcade?
So it's going to be, again, 150 games from top licensors. We're still working on confirming the games list, but I know you guys talked about our press release in January about that new deal we made with Taito, and then there's always really good partners. We have a Tetris and Disney and all sorts of different companies. So I don't want to give away too much on the games list yet, but I think you guys will be pleased. And it's connected again. So the games list we give you is only the start of it.
And there we have it. We have Glenn. Way to put an exclamation point on it. Oh, don't start that.
That's the last thing we need.
So the end of Q2, 150 games. Any other questions that you guys have in here? Because, we want to make sure we get any questions that you have answered if we can about this. Go ahead, Doug.
I had one about the components. I'm making an assumption here, and hopefully you guys can clarify this for me. But I'm assuming the components inside the buttons, the joysticks, would be the identical ones we have on our Legends Ultimate now, or very comparable. Would that be a safe assumption?
Yeah, that's definitely a safe assumption. We wanted to make sure we have those high quality arcade controls in the ALU, and we want to do the exact same thing for the Legends Gamer. That's one of the things we've got in terms of feedback from the community, and when people get hands-on with the Legends Ultimate, is just how much they enjoy the controls, and we want to kind of keep that momentum going and do the same thing with the Gamer.
Great, that's excellent to hear.
So
there was some comments in the
I was just going to ask you if you could get them
today. Do you want to announce any of the people who won today? We had a lot of contests going today.
Yeah, so actually we have 3 people that are getting one of your Tron accessories, Glen. And again, for those who don't know, Glen was gracious enough to donate 2 of the Tron flight sticks and kits that we're giving away, and then we wanted to match that donation and give away 2 more. So we asked on Facebook earlier today, on what day does AtGames release their firmware updates? And this doesn't count for you guys who I pester with emails 4 or 5 times a week, but for the community who gets it, the right answer is Wednesday. So the first 3 people that chose that as the right answer were Chuck Payton, Emily Arena, and Guy Anthony. So we'll be contacting them on Facebook to collect their details and get those shipped out to them.
So let me ask you, because the only one I responded to was the Twitter one, only because I was trying to let other people get in on it. But you said the first person to post their Legends Arcade in the AtGames group. I put Glen down because I figured Glen was the man that had it, because he had.
I won already.
Well, you had the prototype.
fast shipping.
Amazon Prime, baby. So who was that actual? Who was the first person?
I'm gonna have to pull that up again. I don't have it right in front of me, but I know it was October 26th was the day, and it was.
I would have put money it was Glen.
Well, he said October, Glentober.
Well, that's what I'm. Well, you.
There we go. That works. That works.
Yeah, you had it. You had a prototype, and then
the prototype I had way back. I had that in.
But you didn't post that.
No, it's called NDA.
No. I understand that, but then you got.
You get
oh no, wait.
Simply from
No, it was. You know who it was? It was David Fleischer. He posted it from Sam's Club, I think in San Antonio or Houston. He had one on his cart and was saying that they're here, they've arrived.
I think I do remember seeing that.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you go to the fan page and scroll through all the photos, you'll see his as sort of the first one.
Yep.
So somebody just messaged me. Jason Debler said, wasn't it someone named Sean?
So Sean was right after that.
Okay.
They might have been very close.
Very competitive. Just probably by a few minutes, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Because we went through to make sure that we had multiple people making sure that we had the right answer before we put that question up there.
That makes sense. So,
and what we were hoping is more people turn to that fan page to go to you guys for answers and for questions, because you guys are such stalwarts of the community and you help navigate with questions, you help update firmware, you help just communicate that. So we wanted to show sort of that National Owners Day, because you guys are just as big a part of the community as anyone else. So we wanted to kind of drive some attention to that fan page as well.
Well, we're just Doug and I are just here to kind of keep Glen grounded. That's why we're here. That's what we do.
Make sure his head's
just
sit
down, Glen. Sit down.
I'm trying. I'm floating up there. I'm trying to get down. Hold on to the ceiling. There we go.
So you guys have some, at least Jonathan, you hinted at you had some other news that you wanted to break on here. You want to kind of get to some of that?
Yeah. So I know I flipped you some of those PDFs of different things we wanted to share, and we always talk about being connected to the community and open, and so we wanted to kind of give you guys and the community sort of a behind the scenes look at some of the things that are important to us and some of the feedback we get. And yeah, if you want to kind of pull that up,
do you want the survey or do you want the other one?
Let's do the Facebook one first.
All right,
because honestly it is super honest, transparent feedback, everything from shipping concerns, everything to people having an amazing experience, how quick we've been able to tackle and handle things. So perfect.
So yeah, even if you go sort of to the next page there, again, we heard people were having issues with getting them delivered. People are having issues that different delivery companies were messing it up, or it just wasn't coming on time, and we wanted to be really responsive and work with our retail partners, work with our shipping partners, and work most importantly with the owners to try to rectify those issues. So I mean, you can sort of see we see all these comments, and even this with the joystick modification.
And here's the thing: we're not brushing this under the rug. We're not hiding it. We're not deleting comments or blocking people from groups. We truly appreciate the feedback, and if there's something going on with a delivery system or an issue that we may not immediately be aware of, we do turn to you guys and people in the community to notify us. So we're not hiding anything. We want to be able to address an issue if it comes up.
And one of the things so on this slide, what I really like, and while I'm not allowed to be in the secret society, my card was rejected in the mail, But the fact that this exists and you guys have that communication and the owners can go in and have these conversations, and we love that.
Wait! What are you talking about? A secret society? There is no such thing.
Oh, sorry, that's right.
The first rule of the secret society is don't talk about the secret society.
and that's why my membership was rejected so quickly.
That's that. See. Nothing to see here. Moving right along.
I'm gonna miss both of them. They were nice people.
And I mean, kind of moving on, like
even if we go to the survey.
And there's a whole bunch of different examples here of, and I mean, we all know how active Bill is and how great he is in the community, but him putting out the questions, because we want to hear that feedback. And don't forget, there is still that survey link that if you want to win a chance at that digital gift card, give us your feedback. And the same goes for everyone watching. The same goes for you guys. If you see something in an update, you have an idea, throw it at us, email us, keep giving us ideas, and let's see what we can do. The more harebrained, the more challenging. I can't promise anything, but we'll definitely put the due diligence be trying to deliver it to you guys.
And this was the whole idea behind National Owners Day. Is like, we're not just putting up a couple of fluff, pretty images to share with you guys. Like, it's about you. It's about the owners. So whether there's an issue, whether you've had a great experience, whether you have an idea that you think we could improve on, or just something crazy in your head that you think could work, like, we truly want to know it. The owners are spending so much time with it and giving us great feedback that we're not hiding any of it. Tell us, we want to know.
And one of the things we really like,
you guys have been very active in there as well. You've been very active in there, and I know you guys have, when people have raised concerns, you guys have stepped up and, you've worked with them on it. So I agree, you guys have been very vocal and helpful in the community.
Well, and it helps that between the Toronto, the LA, the Taipei team, we're pretty much 24 hours around the clock. So we're working hard to respond in a very timely manner and tackle any issue that we see.
Well, it's even more so than that, because all the enhancements, I mean, a ton of these enhancements have come from feedback from the community. Like the newest one you guys just released today with the joysticks, being able to use either joystick on either side of the unit is a big deal for me and a lot of other people. And that's just an example of one of the things you guys got from the community, programmed, baked it in, and got a firmware out.
Well, I mean, I believe there's someone on the show that was responsible for a firmware update a few weeks ago. Doug and the Amazon Fire Stick. I mean, that was all you.
Yeah, that's just, that's something I had an idea. I knew it was capable to play a bunch of games via the Fire Stick, and it was something that probably didn't get a lot of attention because everyone just naturally kind of progresses towards Raspberry Pi and those type of things. But I knew the Amazon Fire Stick had a built-in web store and had the capabilities of handling certain games. And I thought, well, we've got Bluetooth support and everything. If we could have some interconnectivity with the Fire Stick, this could open up some new avenues and new gameplay options for, the Legends community out there. So I thought I'd pass it on. And sure enough, you guys were quick to respond and receptive to it. And then in a matter of weeks, it was out the door and running. So I applaud you guys for the quick turnaround and just the receptiveness of this.
And this is like the point of this day too, is things like that wouldn't happen without you or other members of the community who have been able to flag things to us or notify us about stuff. So as much as we're thrilled, we're happy as a team and enjoying the support, it's really about you guys. So instead of sitting here and showing you guys what we've done, we're flipping it. And it's like, look at what you've been able to do to help us.
And even when it comes out with the best owners mod, one of the things we really loved was the Ultimate Holiday Contest, where people got to get really creative and decorate their arcade or show us how they might Photoshop it or whatever it is. But we want the whole community to be fun, and we want it to be about gaming. We want it to be about gaming, though, not just in one or two ways that people might think about it. We want it to be from age 5 to 500. Everyone can play. It can be a family thing. It can be a friends thing. It can be a get-together thing. It's a little bit of everything. And I think going through some of these slides, we hear everyone.
Yeah.
We know you want to get your hands on the ALU. We are working. We are doing what we can.
Wait. Question for you.
Yeah.
When is it going to be back in stock?
Hopefully by the end of the month.
We've got like 20 people asking that.
That's all I hear every day. I see it in the chat. That's what I'm saying. I'm being funny.
No, but that's a good question, and it's one we get often, and it's one that we know is important. So the goal is hopefully end of the month, maybe mid-March, but It's on its way. We're working with our retail partners. We might have a third retail partner that you can order some from, but I can't release who just yet. But it's coming, and we hear you guys, and trust us, we want you guys to have it. Because the more of you out there, the bigger the community becomes, the more we grow that AtGames ownership and that and just the community. We want to have as many of you out there as we can, because if you look at even the example of you three and all you've done, extrapolate that 5, 10, 15 times and more so, it's only better for us. Yeah. And when I say us, I don't mean AtGames, I don't mean Chizcomm, I mean the whole community.
And I mean, you guys know we're active on social, so as soon as we have a little bit closer to a date, we'll certainly let everybody know, share links, and keep everybody updated. So we're working with you. We hear ya. We're doing our best to make it happen as soon as we can.
Now, another question that keeps getting posted in here, I know what I call it, but the official question is it AtGames or AtGames?
It is AtGames.
Almond Joy or Mounds?
It is AtGames.
Yeah.
Capital A, lowercase t, capital GAMES.
Okay, everyone.
And I know there was a question in, I believe it was the fan page the other day, where if it was ALU or LUA, and you hear it here first, it is officially ALU, the AtGames Legends Ultimate.
There you go.
And I mean, even here, it's like, again, it's been damaged during shipping. So we've worked very hard to try to get people replacement parts out, to get people replacement panels. If something was scratched, how can we work with them to get it going? Because, again, we want you to be able to have that Legends Ultimate as the pride of, whether it's your game room, your apartment, your basement, your living, wherever it is. We want it to be there. We want it to look its best, and we want it to function its best. So we hear you guys, and we're working to provide you with as much service as we can to repair anything that might have happened.
I think one of the worst things too, if we ever eventually got to talk to someone in person, or they sent us an email and they were struggling with something for a few months or couldn't get something to work, or it arrived in a certain condition, we want to know that. We can't do anything if we're unaware of an issue. So we're super open, we're super responsive and receptive to feedback. So continue to give it to us.
And now this is my favorite one, because this one's probably the one closest to my heart. And as you guys know, I email you all the time, but the firmware updates. Yeah. And we want to release them every Wednesday. We always want to have exciting new features. And I mean, there's also been times where we've seen the fire. Don't download. Yeah. It's breaking everything, and we try to be just as responsive to.
Point 2's up next.
Yeah, to release those updates or those patches if you find anything, and we go through a rigorous QA process, but sometimes even we don't catch it because it's just something that's not replicable on our end. But we want to hear it, and we want to fix it for you guys as fast as we can.
I mean, I know we just went through some pretty open and honest issues, but also, like, there has been a lot of top community highlights, and we wanted to do a thank you and a wave to some people who have supported us and done amazing videos, and they don't go unwatched. Everybody here at the Chizcomm and at the AtGames office and every location is watching them, listening to you guys, and just having fun with you. So thank you. We love it.
Oh, I know those people.
Yeah, who's that? I have no idea. But honestly, thank you. Anyone on here, I know we've probably missed a ton of people as well, because the support has been amazing. But National Owners Day is truly about you guys.
And yeah, whether it's P-Dubs, yourself, Glen, Cool Toy, Ralph, Nostalgia, Tampa, whoever it is, the videos you guys put out are so great. Mm-hmm. And we learn stuff every time, because it's like, oh, we didn't know we could do that. Now we do. How can we support it better?
Nice.
And then this is one of my favorites too, is
I remember that
Michael
guy.
Stewart here.
That was the great one.
Where he took the arcade out of it. Yeah. That was great.
Then he doesn't drive just once. Yeah. He drives twice, to share it with another owner. And I think that's what's so great about the community. And that's why we wanted to celebrate the Owner's Day, is because we have people like Michael Stewart. And Michael, please email us or get in touch with us on social media. We have a little something special for you. If you're not watching, we'll connect on social media, but I don't know why you wouldn't be watching.
Well, no. If he's not watching, why not?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. My mom's tuned into this right now, so Michael doesn't have an excuse.
No, but this is so rare. Like, I've worked across many different industries, many different products, across many different age grading as well. And I don't think I've ever been part of a community that's felt the way this community has. From the highs, the lows, the sharing of information, the support, the honestly quick, eager responsiveness time. Like, when we put something out, in minutes we have answers, we have responses, we have feedback. I've never seen people react this passionately about anything that I've worked on in the past, and it is crazy. Every day we're just mind-blowing about the audience.
And yeah, I was going to say, this slide, I think, demonstrates what is so great about the community.
Yeah.
And it's everyone being able to play, everyone being able to share. And I know we talked about Glen's giveaway, and if you haven't been on his website, there is a discount code to save 30% off his Tron accessories. But if you go back to that slide quickly, you'll notice there's a Tron marquee. And so Joe was gracious enough, and if you're not familiar with Joe, definitely check out his work. But he's giving away 2 of those, either the Tron marquee or the control panel, and then he as well is offering a 24% discount. So he was nice enough to offer 12%, and we said we want to do even more for our owners. So AtGames was gracious enough to donate the other 12% to save 24% on those any Legends graphic work that he can do. So make sure you go
right now. I took advantage of that. I have a Tron 1 on its way to me from Joe. So Joe, thank you, and AtGames, thank you for the extra 12%, 24%. I couldn't turn it down. Normally I'd buy 5 of them. This time I only bought 1.
I was just gonna ask you if you got 5 of them.
Well, you need at least 5.
There you go.
I agree. You should have at least 5.
We've got a question in the chat from Joseph Shorts. It says, will there be a more tighter packaging method used when packing the packaging in the box from the factory, so this will prevent damage? I noticed there is too much space for movement inside the box.
And that's something we've looked at, and we want to obviously make the packaging as efficient as possible, but also as protective. So I know that a lot of people have found little damage with their units when it's been shipped. We are looking at different methods and making sure that it is protected when it is shipped, and as more releases come out, you'll see some changes there, hopefully.
Cool.
Excellent.
Let me go back to
one thing when we're talking about all those things. Well, we're talking about all this right now about, the shipping and the people out in the community. One thing I want to just stress here again is how far AtGames has come since the release of this unit right here. Now, me personally, you know me, I got every one of these just about. And, AtGames.
No, you got 5 of every one of those.
Well, more or less. But the point I'm trying to get to is, these products right here, the Atari flashbacks, were, I always liked them. Never had a problem. The portables were great. The ColecoVision one they came out with, the Intellivision one they came out with was fine. The Sega Genesis ones the early ones had a little bit to be desired. They came out with their last one, which actually was pretty good, that accepted cartridges. But there was just always a little stigma because of that, because they had sound issues. Everyone was not on the AtGames bandwagon. A lot of people were like, oh no, I'm not going to go anywhere near it. Going from that, this is what I'm getting at. Going from people saying, I would never buy an AtGames product, the stuff's not very good. Then this thing comes out, and
people
now
people are
begging for it. So I take my hat off to PK and everyone over who works with AtGames and Chizcomm as well for turning that around. It's not easy when you have so much of the community, because as you know, this type of community can be rabid at times. You know, they're very passionate, they like their stuff, and if something's not right, they will be all over you worse than, I don't know, a chipmunk with, I don't know, peanut butter on yourself. I don't know, something along those lines.
That passion goes both ways.
It does. It goes both ways. And, you know, they've come a long way. They've come out with a product people said there's no way it's going to be any good, it's going to be trash. It is not. The build quality is excellent. The processor on there is more than adequate. I mean, we all know that ETA Prime's done a lot of work, you know, experimenting on the guts of this thing right here. It's an extremely capable machine that is, I've said once before, I'll say it again, it's a Swiss Army knife of machines. It can do a lot. And I take my hat off to all of them for basically, so far, turning the image around. Everything they've been doing has been a good step, listening to community, making improvements, and you guys have done a really good job. I just want PK and everyone else to understand you guys are working very hard, because everyone tells you that. You guys are working very hard, and it's showing at this point. You guys have a good product coming out right now to where people can't get them quick enough. Get them out there. Get them out there.
We're trying.
We're trying. No, thank you. And we're really glad the community and you guys have noticed that. It's from the get-go when we first started working with the AtGames team, and both of us just gelled so well together, and we really just wanted to make a quality product and listen to people and what they wanted. And everybody had the exact same mindset and objective going into that. All egos aside, we're doing what's best for the product, best for the community, and that's how we put our mindset together.
Awesome.
And I mean, we don't have to go through the rest of that deck.
We don't have to go through all these?
Yeah, it's just some of the different events we attended and some of the different things we got to meet people in the community. But it's actually, if you wanted to take a quick look at that other one, there's a couple neat things in there.
I don't think they want to see the other one. Are you sure? Are you sure, Jonathan, that we should show that one?
I think people would want to see that, but I mean,
all right,
what do I know?
All right, okay, we'll pull it up. I'm kidding, people. I'm kidding.
I'm definitely interested in this one. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
You tell me when to flip.
By the different teams, and just it's survey results, and it's what we hear from you guys, what we hear in the comments, and even this word frequency map. And I think this kind of builds off of what Glenn said. I mean, if you look at the two biggest words, love and great, and that we are so appreciative to hear that, and those are also two words that would describe the community best as well. Is one, we love them, and two, they're great, and we appreciate the way that you guys are responsive, and I know you said they can be fairly rabid at times, but to me that's a great thing, because if they're passionate about something, that is way better than them being apathetic and not caring, because then we're all in trouble. If they care enough to give us that feedback, negative or positive, to me that's more important than anything else. And I know the whole team feels the same way. But
even just looking at some of these, like what was your reasoning for purchasing? You know, there's more in here about ages and favorite games, and you know, this is just great learning for the community too, but it even fuels what we're going to come out with next, based off of what we're seeing here. I love the fact that people are saying the majority, 84%, want to relive an arcade memory, because something like this truly does throw you back. Then, of course, man cave upgrade, a gift, replacing another cabinet, or was an in-store display. But those top three up there really mean a lot to us, and it brings back memories for all of us here too. I think we all remember our first game, whether a parent introduced us to it or a friend, and when you get a hold of something like this, it truly does bring you back.
And as part of being sort of that open and connected, like I said, I mean, I don't know a lot of companies that are releasing these numbers, and we wanted to share that because we find it interesting, but we thought you guys would too.
Yeah.
Looking at, you know, even 10% of the people playing are 26 to 35.
Even I think some people think the gaming community is very siloed and a solo thing, but look at that, 73% play with family and friends. It is truly a social experience. It's almost like when you were at an arcade back in the day, a group gathered behind you to watch you get to that next level. It isn't isolated. You can physically play beside someone like Jonathan and I, or you can virtually play with someone not even in the same country as you. So it is a shared experience.
And even this is kind of fun to look at, is where are people playing and when are they playing? And as we talk more about being connected, this could be really handy, because then you can say, you know what, everyone's playing on Saturday, well, I'm going to put some time aside and play with my friends on Saturday too. And as some of the rumors you hear about connected play come more and more to fruition, knowing this is really good insight for everyone.
What this tells me is if you're looking for a Legends Ultimate, you need to go to Florida.
Yeah, I was just...
Because apparently all the cabinets are hiding in Florida.
Over half of the owners play daily on that.
Well, Doug, what we might have to do is get in touch with Michael Stewart and see if he wants to make a road trip.
Yeah,
there we go.
But even if you go to the next slide where it talks about like what people are playing, and I think this is a really cool thing, because 91% want that retro and arcade preference, but then people love shooters, people love fighting, beat 'em up, strategy. Like it's all across the board of what people play.
Some people aren't sure; they're just having a good time.
Yeah. That's like when
Kass enjoying it.
That 1% is Kass and I when we play on the unit at work.
At the office, yeah.
We don't know necessarily what to play, so we just start trying different games.
I don't see Pong listed. Where's Pong?
No, they got look on the next slide here. It says Tempest. You should be happy with that. It's number 1.
I am happy. Oh yeah, Tempest is very good. Yes.
And Burger Time's number 2, so I'm happy.
And even Tetris is on there. Tron, because again.
Yeah. Let's talk about
Tron.
Let's talk about Tron. Take a look at that, Glenn. Where's Tron at?
Let's talk about Tron, baby. Let's talk about you and me.
Oh,
Let's talk
Lord.
about all the things
for Valentine's Day
with Tron, baby. Let's come on, Tron, baby.
I don't know what's scarier, the fact that you know all the words to that song.
Yeah, it didn't miss a beat or anything.
Remember, I was a DJ for a while. Remember that.
Playing all those choice cuts.
We now return you to your regularly scheduled program.
But I think the next slide shows something that you guys sort of know the best, is where are people getting their news? And it's YouTube videos and personalities. And I mean, you guys are 3 really big contributors to that with your videos and personalities. Some more so Glen than others, but
they do turn to you for a source of information. So we really appreciate you guys and the support. So people are going there for information first versus, websites or even social pages that we run. So we really appreciate it.
And I always think it's interesting.
Be sure
when
to
we
support
see...
our Patreons. Be sure to put some money in the cup. There we go.
But I always love when people go to the fan page to ask us questions before they even go to our channels, because they'll throw it out in the community and be like, AtGames or anyone, why is this happening, or how do I fix this, or I want to add this, and then the community is so quick to respond, and then sometimes we don't even have a chance to get in there before everyone's solved the issue.
So I want to say this to everybody that's watching. If there's with you guys still, we're coming up at the top of the hour here. We're going to go through this, and if you are asking questions, we're going to open up the call-in system like we do every week, and we're going to let you, if Kass and Jonathan can stick around just for a little bit in a post-show, 10, 15 minutes or so, and then you guys can call in if you have specific questions. Don't think we're ignoring you. We're not ignoring you. They've got a lot of good information here that they want to share with you guys, so that's why we're really putting a lot of emphasis, again, like he said, it's about the community for this show. So I just wanted to put that out there so nobody thought we were like ignoring them or anything.
And I can be a little long-winded at times, so if you give me a platform, I'll talk for the next hour. So.
You're fine. We deal with Glen every week.
That's
wow.
I'm just kidding. Glad you know that.
I love the AtGames company office location.
Yeah.
Well, that would be why. But no, it's fascinating for us, and who knows what learning this could, make happen in the future.
Let me go. Whoops. Sorry. I guess is that the last slide? I think it is.
Yeah, that's the last slide.
Okay.
That's sort of just, and again, we wanted to share all that information with you guys and just kind of give you an insight into what we know and let you in on the let's call it the secret, but it's not really a secret.
Well, I mean, I think it's nice to know that you guys are tracking all this information. I mean, because a lot of times when you're putting content out there, I'm sure these guys would agree with me on this, is you don't know who's watching it, you don't know what people are seeing, you don't know where it's reaching, and I mean, yeah, you get analytics, but it doesn't really get down to nitty-gritty on some things. So it's nice to see who's really paying attention to what's going on in the community. So it's pretty awesome. I know Glen's stoked.
Well, and the key thing that the community and you guys, that's the whole point, is that we can get you guys to interact in a better fashion. Like you said, a lot of other people can get to the answers before you even can, but the fact that you can see that and pick up more information on that, all helps you guys out as well to come out with better products.
100%.
And I mean, we also see you guys sometimes in the comments saying some other things, but we appreciate that too, you know. And I just want to remind you, you have my email, so if you ever have any questions, shoot me a little note, and I'm happy to answer them.
We have your email. Don't you worry about that. Some of the guys, we got I can't call. Oh, okay, I thought they were asking a question. So I put the link in the YouTube for those. We'll get you on here at the end of the show here. PK was sending me a text saying he always, every week. So when we first started this show, Glen would want to go 2 hours, then 3 hours, and then it would just, you know, I think we finally got it down to an hour, and PK's like, no, you got to end it after an hour. And so 10 minutes before the show's over, he'll send me a text, and he'll say, time's up. So that way I know to start winding it down and get Glen back down to where he needs to get.
I get that shock, that stupid USB thing you gave me here. I get zapped.
Well, I know you guys had Harold on there for a little over an hour a few months ago.
Well, I told him, I said it's okay. We started a little late. We had some technical difficulties trying to get you guys in the beginning. We got to talk to Harold about that. It's all his fault. We're blaming him. So
we're gonna get that set up in our office.
Yeah.
I thought that was your office. That isn't your office? I thought you had all that space.
It's a conference room.
I didn't know it was a couch room. I was being facetious.
Oh, sorry. Just calls the Three Stooges. So what about, and I don't know, I'm going to kind of throw you guys on the spot here. Since everybody's watching, you got this brand new product that came out. What about if you picked, I mean, obviously there's going to be some guys that are out there that are reviewing stuff that you guys are going to send that new item to, whatever. What about, would you guys be willing to pick a person that's watching right now live to be the first normal person? We call them normal people because they seem to think we're somebody else, but normal people to get this when it comes out, since they've been screaming for the Legends Ultimate, the Legends Gamer. Would that be something you could do for these guys here? I don't know if they'd want that.
I mean,
I don't.
Well, I don't know. Yeah, let's ask them. Is that something you guys would want?
How many of you guys in the chat room would like to be the first person in the United States outside of any reviewers that they have to send it to? But that's why I say normal people, because that's what everybody always says. We're normal people. We're not reviewers like you guys. How would you like to get it? Put a 1 in the chat room on either one, Facebook or YouTube. And let us know, because they're watching. I'll pull it up. I'll show it. I don't care.
Hey, put a 1 or 2. You know we listen to the community, so we'll do our best to make that happen.
They're like, heck yeah, sold, totally.
We're going very binary. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1.
Well, there you go. PK, I know you're watching. We'll chat after.
So why don't we do this, since you guys...
I guess the question is, how do we decide that?
That's what I was just going to say. Since we pretty much know everybody in here, why don't you guys think, or have Glen or Doug think of a question that has to do with gaming, and see who could be the first one to answer it, and then they could tell you. I'm going to exclude myself as just being, because I'm doing all the switching here. So one of those guys can throw out a question, and I know with Glen it'll be something to do with Tron or something. No, but
fair enough.
I mean, I don't care. However, do you want to do that? is that something you're comfortable? And then Doug, you pick the person, and we'll have Glenn throw out the question, and then we can get that information to Kass and Jonathan.
So, like, for the question, should it be like, what was my favorite childhood video game?
Well,
that would be it.
We'd be in trouble with that.
Yeah, I don't even think I know that.
Then we definitely be over that 2-hour mark.
What do you think, Glenn? What would be a good question to ask? Because you're like the retro gaming wizard. Like, you can go back years and you know this stuff. So pick something that's good.
I have no life, and I don't.
No, I don't mean like that, but you.
I have nothing else better to do in my life.
You know,
I see what you're saying.
So
just if we want to pose.
I
think Doug.
Information that we just covered on the slides. See who.
Yeah, I think that's even better.
Go ahead, Doug.
If people are paying attention, I think it's a great.
Oh, like a pop quiz.
Go ahead, Doug.
Yeah, so pop quiz. You know, we went over some slides there. We'll say, you know, one question. What was the most played game on the Legends Ultimate percentage-wise?
Ooh,
that's a great question.
Wow.
Doug for the win. Doug for the win.
Doug pulls it out in clutch. Look at that. Wow.
And
that was a great question. Now, how many people remember?
12.
Yeah.
Vintavious 12 was the first person.
Yep.
So who was it?
It says Tempest. So the username is Vintavious 12.
All right. So if we can get that over to him, Doug, you have Jonathan's email. So if you could send that username over to Jonathan and Kass, and then you guys can pass it on. I just think it would be cool because this is going out to, and hopefully I'd like to know if this person, do you have the Legends Ultimate cabinet, or do you not have it? Have you been waiting to get it? Because this might be your chance to get it before things hit the shelves, really. I mean, I don't know. Depends on this virus that's over there. Anything.
Well, fingers crossed for everyone that it comes to a close sooner than later.
Mm-hmm. We're looking at probably mid-June.
Okay.
Right, because if people don't really know, with the coronavirus going around, a lot of the factories in Asia are just simply not opening. They were closed for Chinese New Year, and they were expected to open, but then this whole thing happened, and the factories decided not to open. So really, nothing is really coming out of the area right now. So we have to wait for that to change.
Very cool. Well, let's do this. Let's kind of wrap this up, and then we'll go into a post show, and you guys can ask some questions. I would appreciate everybody that you've been sticking around, hanging out. But if we do encourage you guys to call in, ask some questions. I know we've already got somebody waiting in the wings here to call in and ask. So just go ahead. We'll get you in the queue, and we'll get you up. But again, I want to thank our guests of honor today, Kass and Jonathan, for taking the time out on Valentine's Day to join a bunch of geeks and talk about games.
I could think of no better way to spend my time, to be honest.
You guys are Valentine.
Well, again, we appreciate it.
Aw, look how nice that.
You just made Glenn's night.
I'll drink to that.
Again, we want to thank also Mr. Doug Cool Toy Smith, and hopefully your wife is not going to beat you because you're on here instead of taking her out in Valentine. Yeah.
Oh, didn't even think and about that one.
Yeah.
Sorry, buddy.
She's a sweetheart. Mrs. Cool Toy is a wonderful woman. She won't kill me too much.
And also Mr. Glen, I didn't say it at the beginning, Palomino.
I know.
Plant a tomato. Plant a
loaf.
There you go.
Got it all.
And yeah, my wife and I, she knows, like, I'd rather do something for her on a non-get-rich Hallmark day. So that's just how that works. But guys, we really appreciate you hanging out with us. We'll see you next time for the Retro Buzz.